When the market slows down, most sales teams do the same. Deals stall, margins shrink. And suddenly it's like everyone's waiting for something, anything really, to change. But some teams, they keep closing. Some even grow. So what makes them different? Because let's be honest, pressure on pricing, tougher competition, internal fear, it hits all of us. But only a few teams knows how to push through it, and fewer know how to lead through it. Our next speaker has seen it all. 3 decades of international sales leadership in both good times and bad. He knows what breaks teams, but also knows what builds them. If you're a sales leader ready to make your team more resilient, more proactive, and less sensitive to whatever the market throws your way, then please give it up to Andy Vlaming.
Yay! Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me at the last session of the day. Bear with me, it's only half an hour. You'll be fine. It will be over before you actually realize it. But I'm a fond believer of bending rules every once in a while, so I'm going to start with that. Um, is there anybody in the room that does not speak Dutch? Oh, otherwise I would have done this in Dutch. But especially for you, I'll do it in English. But I do want something back. Nothing comes for free. We'll talk about that later. Good. Who came to our booth to hit the boxing ball? Yeah, some of you, not a lot. Wussies. So after the session, please come join us. Have a hit. We're not looking for the one that hits the hardest, not for the one that hits the fastest. I hope by the end of the session you'll find out why. Okay. So I'm Andy, and I work for Sales Up. I won't do a sales pitch. I've done that all day. We help companies and organizations grow. If you want to know how, come and join us after the session. We'll gladly explain it to you in detail. But there's one thing I can tell you. If we talk about growth, it's always sustainable growth. We're not hard-selling sharks, and we do not train people to be hard sellers. When we talk about sustainable growth, it's about we help our clients find customers that step into a long-term sustainable relation. So we look for clients for them, clients that are happy to step into the relation, that stay for a long time in the relation, and that actually bring along new clients. So that's a very important one. Okay, now growth isn't simple. It has never been. But especially now, there is a crisis. He didn't get this job, but he's no doubt planning something else that will pop up the next couple of days. So these are very troubling, uncertain, chaotic times. And that's immediately my first advice of the day. Be honest about that with your teams. Don't hide it. Be honest about your insecurities, about your fears, about your stress. Don't sugarcoat reality, because if you do that with a team, they will lose trust in you and they will become insecure. So be honest. Because and accept the effects of a crisis. As was mentioned in the little film, companies will start kind of postponing decisions. They will take longer to make decisions. You don't have that under control, but what you do have under control is the behavior of your sales teams. They as well will start kind of postponing stuff. They do not want to get, thank you for joining us after all. They do not want to hear a no. So they will actually, without consciously knowing that, they will start postponing, the follow-up on the pipeline and calling clients because they do not want to hear no. And in a crisis, the risk of hearing no becomes bigger. So they will stop following up proactively. They will stop hunting proactively. It's like, when they're stressed, they will kind of paralyze and they will become reactive. They will wait for the customer to take the initiative. And not only, and this is more dangerous, will they be afraid of hearing a no, they'll in the end do everything they can to get a yes. So they will give in too quickly when negotiating. They will start, giving discounts that are too high. And that's a real danger for your team. So we're in a crisis. But I won't sugarcoat things neither. there has always been a crisis. I see a lot of bold, old gray men here. I'm becoming one myself. So you were around, I guess, when the atomic bomb scared us shitless in the 80s. There was a crisis. And then when at the turn of the century, everybody panicked. We thought all things would stop working. There was a crisis. And I was working with a big American company when this shit hit the fan in, what was it, 2007, 2008? Again, a crisis. And, this crisis won't be the last crisis. I bet in a few years we'll be kind of stocking toilet paper again. We will start being irrational and panicky again. So this crisis will not be the last. Actually, in all honesty, growth is kind of a crisis in as such. A crisis and growth have the same characteristics. It's uncertain, it's unpredictable, it's stressy. So growth is always a bit, like a good crisis. I think Churchill said, never waste a good crisis. That's exactly it. This is growth. Somebody this morning, and I almost got nauseous about it, said sales is 90% science. In all honesty, that's bullshit. If it were science with magical formulas and rational reasoning and scientific formulas that work every time, I would be on a farm in the Provence writing my 5th book about it. Trust me, I would not be here unless they pay me $30,000 or euros for half an hour. But it's not. Sales is not an exact science. It's human interaction. Human interaction implies rejection. Rejection will always be a part of selling. That's inevitable. The only difference now and when I was young in the 80s, and back in the 80s, we kind of accepted the rejection. We accepted that it was part of the game. It comes with the business. Nowadays, in times where we are addicted to little likes and hearts and whatever and smileys and what is it, dopamine, I think, we have become addicted to it. So the rejection has become a problem. Sales leaders are stuck with, young sales people that are, I don't know, that would be, Brian, I don't know how you were raised, but it's kind of a judgment, and I won't do that. But it feels like we have been overprotected the last couple of years, that we can't handle rejection anymore. But as long, is another small question, is there a robot in the room? Yeah, can you feel in the back of your neck? You sure there's no USB entrance there? No? Okay. So no robots. You're all people. Sales is done by people. Maybe in 50 years it will be different, but today it's done by people, and we're all human. Human behavior, emotions. We're little toddlers in many ways. And there's no tool that's going to change that. There's no tool that will take away the pain of rejection, the risk of rejection, the emotional part. In the best cases, it will create the illusion of safety. A few weeks ago, I heard this presentation about an AI tool, and I'm not against AI tools. I'm against the idea that it will save us all and change everything. A few weeks ago, somebody said at an event, we have a tool that will make sure salespeople get less no's. They won't hear no that often. That's ridiculous. Because if you have a tool that avoids the no, your team will no longer be able to handle the no when it really comes to it. It creates the illusion of safety. And there's actually a risk involved, because if you get tempted by that illusion, you'll get tempted to invest a lot of time and energy and money into the tools, but actually you should be at least investing the same amount of time, energy, and money into your people. The tools will help you navigate through the storm. Your people will actually take you through the storm. So that's kind of my main message of today. I will share with you the secret of how you can actually build a resilient team like that, how you can build a crew for your ship that will take you through the storm. Yeah? One, very important, hire the misfits. And there's at least one in this room. He's called Aaron. You'll get to know him. Aaron, can you stand up, Aaron? This is Aaron. Does he look like a misfit? No, he doesn't. But he was one. In uncertain times, in a crisis, companies look for security. So more often than they actually do in other days, they hire people that offer security. They look for salespeople with a long CV, a proven track record, experience in the industry, la 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 la. They're fucking divas. The longer the CV, the more impressive the track record, the bigger their network, the bigger the diva they are. And the problem with divas is that they're used to actually being quite chill. They operate in their own comfort zone with clients that they know, in an industry that they know. They're actually no longer used to hearing a no. They're no longer used to being rejected. So if you want to build a crisis-proof, resilient sales team, hire the fighters, because that's what sales is all about. It's about getting hit, falling down, getting up again, and moving forward. That's what you have to do. So you're looking for the fighters. I used to run Pepperminds for 4 years. It was a direct sales company, 30 FTEs, 450 students. All of them, high school dropouts, university fuck-ups, you know, complete misfits. He was one of them, actually. Yeah. Now he's what Salesforce, quite an impressive guy at Salesforce. They were all misfits. But we had a growth rhythm. I think in 4 years' time, we grew with about 400%, with EBITDAs between 15 and 20%. It was the most fun time of my life. Well, no, now it's fun at Sales Up as well, but back then it was the most fun time of my life. And they worked, they worked hard. You can't imagine. This is what you're looking for. Childish, naive enthusiasm. I don't want the gray mice in my sales team. I don't want the guys that follow the rules. I don't want the guys that follow the procedures. I want the guys that are likable. I want the people that other people like. In Dutch, sorry, it's the gunfactor. Because people actually grant you your success if you're likable. So if you're interviewing salespeople, don't do that in a meeting room. They know how that works. They're salespeople. They can actually sell themselves, believe it or not. So they'll make you believe whatever you want to believe. I heard somebody praise assessments this morning. Rubbish. Did loads of assessments. I determined what the outcome of an assessment was. On top of that, the people doing the assessments aren't all that intelligent. It's not done by the high-profile HR people. They're done by the young starters in the HR firms. So ridiculous. Take them out. Have a date. If you want to find a good salesperson, take them on a date. Well, not in the literal sense of the word, but have a coffee, have a glass of wine, have lunch, whatever. Put them in a context that is informal. And watch closely how they interact. I think it was Muhammad Ali who said, I judge people by how they treat other people. Look how they interact with the other clients in a cafe, with the staff in the cafe. And then you will find out if they're likable or not. If they walk into the cafe, do people kind of notice them? Do they have the charisma? And once it's informal, you can start asking them strange questions. What kind of color do you like? And why? Do you have a dog? And why? Imagine I give you a credit card with unlimited means. Who would you invite for dinner? Give me 3 people that you would invite for dinner. And why? Who do you miss the most and why? Etc., etc. Ask them for their fuck-ups. What is their biggest failure? And why? And how did they handle it? That's what you're looking for. Not the superficial la la la. Yeah? Ask them about their dreams. Where do they want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Do they have a plan? How are they going to do that? And especially find out if they're good at asking questions. Back in the days, my mother said, you have to go in sales because you can explain everything. And for a while, that was the idea. Good salespeople people are good talkers. And then later on, people realized good salespeople are good listeners. No, they're not. What are they going to listen to? The song of the birds? The silence in the room? Good salespeople are extremely good at asking questions. So figure out, do they ask, when you're in a cafe with a potential sales in your team, do they ask questions? Do they ask smart questions, good questions? That's what you're looking for. Hire the misfits. Make it safe. Once you've hired them, make it safe for them to work for you. That's how you will get them through a crisis. And I'm not talking about pampering. I'm the kind of guy that used to say, everything that doesn't kill you will make you stronger. So I'm not talking about pampering, but I am talking about creating a safe space, an environment, a team environment where it's safe to take risks, to experiment, to bend some rules. That's important. Yeah? We are animals that prefer a flock, a group. And sorry for the word, it has been misused and abused over the last couple of years. We're looking for a tribe. Yeah? So create a tribe. Aaron, do you remember at Pepperminds? We were often accused of I was accused once actually, officially, for running a cult. So I probably took it a bit too far, the whole tribe thing. But create a group. And even more important, give them a common goal. If you want people to run for you, they have to know in which direction. If you want to take them through a storm, make sure they know what comes after the storm. Show them which island you will reach once you get through the storm. And even better, create a common enemy. Set a big, hairy, audacious goal, or create a common enemy, something you can fight together. You probably know these guys. Too Good to Go? You don't just work there, you become a food waste warrior, and you fight food waste. One of the fastest growing companies I've ever seen, and people work their asses off there. Same with Dripple. You join the refiliation, and you fight pollution by cans. So give people a common goal, and even better, give them a common enemy. But there's a danger in that as well. You can't exaggerate, because the big monster that you have to fight might seem too big for them. So you slice it up like you would eat an elephant. You don't eat it. Anyways, slice it up in little pieces. So set a goal, but then cut it into small micro goals, easy ones. If you tell your sales team in a meeting, I want you to grow the revenues with 30% this year, they'll go, oh, well, no idea. You can easily tell them, they will understand, I want you to see 13, this is something I made up at the spot. You have to think of a slightly more complicated numbers. But, visit 30 new customers instead of 10 every month. You're actually saying the same. Yeah? Chop it up in little micro goals. And once you've done that, trust your team. Yeah? Focus on their actions. Don't nag every sales meeting about we're only at 20% growth or 15% growth. Don't do that. Look at their actions. Did they actually do the 13 meetings instead of 10? And focus on that. Trust them. If they do the right things, the result will follow. It's a fact. Yeah? A good way to help them do that is create what I call power moments. For instance, if one of your micro targets says, we want 100 cold calls every month. Yeah? Put them together twice a month, a whole afternoon, or even a day, and call together. Make it fun. Make it a little contest. The one with the most meetings at the end of the day gets a bottle of gin, I don't care, or a box of Too Good To Go, doesn't matter. But make it, make small micro goals and help them achieve them by creating these power moments. By doing that, you get a chance. You remember, salespeople are divas, so they want to experience success. That's what makes them happy. A kind of misconception in a lot of companies that bonuses make them happy. No, no. The success experience makes them happy. Winning makes them happy. So if you set these little goals and you help them achieve them, you can actually regularly kind of, create success experiences and celebrate the achievement of the little micro goals. Yeah? 3, so hire the misfits, give them a safe space, and never stop training. Small sales pitch, I have to admit. I sell sales trainings. Forgive me. Brian, how are we on time? Check. Okay, he's my timekeeper. Don't know the guy, just met him. Fine. Probably, he looks like somebody that can do that. Never stop training. We get contacted a lot by companies and they ask us to train their salespeople because numbers are going down, revenues are bad, la la la, too much discounts, whatever reasons. In all honesty, most of the times it's already too late. They call us when it's too late. The team is already damaged. They're already in kind of a downward spiral. They have already started losing clients, giving too much discounts, resulting in a loss of trust. They've lost their trust in the company, in the offering, in the product, in the leaders, and especially they've lost the trust in themselves. So we kind of have to work with damaged goods. It's like going, and I'm guilty as charged, it's like going to a doctor when you are actually half dead. Too late. Yeah? So never stop training and start as soon as you get somebody on board. It's shocking to see what a minimum of time and energy is invested in the onboarding of new salespeople. Somebody made a kind of a joke about it this morning. Here's a phone and a laptop and a car, have fun. I think we have a number somewhere about how many people leave the company within the first 18 months. It's humongous. So please, before you hire the misfits for your crisis-proof sales team, make sure you have a decent onboarding plan. Put somebody in charge of it. Invest in it. And do not call us, well, you can always call us, but please call us for training when they're on a high, when they're, in their flow. Then they will be much more open to exciting new stuff, to trying new stuff. Then they're kind of full of trust and they're, look at me, I'm great. Okay, I will make you even greater. Much easier than somebody that goes, we're shit. Yeah, I'll make you less shit. Slightly more difficult. Yeah? And accept that things are changing constantly. Markets are changing, economics are changing, consumer behavior is changing. So as soon as you stop training, you will lose track. You have to adapt faster and faster and faster. So keep training. And you're less smart, much less smart than you actually think. Check out the experiment. I won't explain it in detail. The bottom line is, if you show people a little movie with 10 people bouncing around balls and you ask them to count the balls and you put a gorilla in the middle of the film, after the film, more than half of the people haven't seen the gorilla because they don't expect the gorilla. So we're stupid. We build our knowledge on things that we think and assume and expect. So keep training, very important. And give the example. If you want your crisis-proof team to follow you, you will have to run faster. You have to make sure that you give the example. I hear a lot of sales managers saying, yeah, but back in my days, I did it like this, and so they just have to do the same. No. You have to show them how to do it now. Yeah? You have to coach them. Don't tell them, show them. 4, never stop hunting. You all know this distinction, I guess, between farming and hunting. It's ridiculous. It's artificial. You know, you have farmers and you have hunters. You have a period for hunting and you have a period for farming. That's unnatural, actually. I come from the countryside. Peter, Brugge. That's the part of for the non-Flemish. That's the part of Belgium close to the coast. Farms and cows and stuff like that. So we're used to living on the rhythm of nature. We know that there's a time to sow and a time to harvest. There's a time to work and a time to chill. And it goes in kind of, up and down. Farming and hunting and sales is just the same. It's not just one thing. It's a constant equilibrium between the two. As soon as you stop hunting, you die. You all know that the marine parks are closing, which is a good thing. And they have to just, you can't just take an orca home. You have to put him somewhere. So they'll put him in some kind of reservoir, in a reservation, I don't know, because you cannot put him back into the wild. He does not know how to hunt. A sales team that doesn't hunt, that doesn't spend time looking for new business, and is only focused on account management and key account management of existing clients, loses the ability to hunt. And when a crisis hits them, they will not know what to do because they have lost the skill to hunt. Yeah? Never, ever accept that your sales team is not looking for new opportunities, new clients. That is prospecting has to be a structural part of their everyday work. Actually, if you allow them not to hunt, they will be worse salespeople for your existing clients. Because if they only work with existing clients, they're not used to confrontations anymore. They already have a relationship. They're fine. So they lose the ability to bite. They become tame. And actually, when that existing clients start, causing trouble in times of crisis, they will, because there's a supplier who is cheaper, or they get an order somewhere from the States that they have to stop buying with you, or there's a budget freeze or whatever. They will react tame because they no longer know how to fight. So please get your head out of the sand. Even when you can sit there and say, we're doing fine. We're completely crisis proof. We don't feel the impact of Trump's weird ideas and other trouble. Please get your head out of the sand. Look at your team in all honesty and check how many time they actually spend with clients and how many time they actually spend with new clients. Well, potential clients. Actually check how much time they, look at the relationship between the big revenue clients and the shitty clients. Almost every time, the time that salespeople spend, they don't spend more time with the great, fantastic clients. They often spend more time with the shitty clients because it's no more fun. They have a better relationship, whatever. Last one, be a calm leader. Brian, still okay? Yeah? Okay, yell. Okay, toppy. How long? Brian, it's the only thing you had to do. So we now have no more control over time, but it's his fault. So, so be a calm leader. Very important. For all the sales leaders in the room, you're the elephant in the room. Very often, when they ask us to help companies out with their sales team, the real problem is with the bloody sales managers and sales directors, not with the salespeople. Yeah? It doesn't matter how complicated your spreadsheets are or how impressive your PowerPoint presentations in the sales meetings or your whatever. It doesn't matter what you say or what you do. This is what impacts your team. This is what will help them through the storm. Because there will be storms. Not only this one, later on as well. And it's how you look at the storm that will determine how your team looks at the storm. Like Barry White used to sing, it's not what you got, baby, it's what you do with it. Same principle. You have to give the example. You have to have the right mindset. And it is contagious. And once you have a team, trust them. You all, I hope you know Sinead O'Connor. The old grey men will know Sinead O'Connor. And in one of her songs, there was an intro that said, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Please focus on the stuff that you can change with your team and trust them to do the same. Give them ownership. You know, get off their backs and chill. Be a calm leader. Nobody dies. I've been in sales for almost 40 years, and I dropped dead once. Had nothing to do with a bonus. Nothing. Had nothing to do with a deal that went wrong. And I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Never been in a meeting where all of a sudden somebody drops dead because he missed the deal. It doesn't happen. So chill. And please don't micromanage. The divas are allergic to one thing: micromanagement. They need their freedom to experiment, to make mistakes, and take your time. It's fine. Changing behavior takes time. Before you go to the Aperol Spritz, and thank you for bearing with me, 3 kind of roundups. Embrace the unknown. I always say, fuck Yoda. There is a try. Ridiculous idea. There is no try. Yes, there is a try. You have to try. You have to accept that not everything that you try will work. Please do stuff you didn't do before. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Or another one, all is fair in love and war. And we are at war in many ways. So try new stuff. Hire the people that do not check all the boxes. Say no to a client. Be wild for once. And please, please invest in your people. I heard somebody say this morning, you as a sales leader, you won't have to coach anymore. AI can do that for you. What? It's your bloody job to coach your team. Bloody hell. We're in a people business. What a ridiculous idea. What else is there to do as a sales leader? But to be, working with your team, investing in your team. And don't just do the one-on-ones and the official. Take them out for a wine every once in a while. Have dinner with them without any reason. Just do it. Tender, loving care. That's the magic formula. That's how you get people to work for you. Aaron maybe remembers, but the people that my not my students, but my students as well, but my staff, my 30 people staff, sometimes I had to force them to go home. They worked and worked and worked and worked. My nickname was Papa Pepper. Tender, loving care. Very simple. And be a big dog. I won't explain it in detail now. If you want to hear about it, come to the booth or call us later. But it's the universal law of the big and the small dog. Who has a dog? Yeah? What kind of dog? A poodle. That's not a dog. That's a genetically manipulated guinea pig. That's not a dog. Who has a real dog? Who has a dog? Yeah? Which one? Okay. Kind of a bit softy-wofty, but it's a big dog. It's fine. Of those dogs, your poodle will bark and bite faster than his golden retriever because they're afraid. They get stressed. That's how they react faster. A calm leader is a big dog. He doesn't get stressed that easy. I have a big German shepherd. He doesn't get he never barks. Never happens. He knows that he can rip your arm out of your body if he wants to. So why would he he's chill. A calm leader is a chill leader. Good. And remember, keep going forward. It's not about how hard you can hit, how fast you can get. It's about how often you can get hit and keep moving forward. Do you know that an average deal takes about on average, 5 to 7 contact moments, attempts, whatever you want to call it, before they actually get closed? 92% of salespeople give up after 2 attempts. 2. So imagine if you can get your team to do 4 or 5, to follow up, to keep going, what would happen to your numbers? Yeah? If you want to know more about us, that's my LinkedIn profile, that's our website, and we're downstairs with a boxing ball. See you soon. Thank you.